Prologue. The story I heard from you. Beneath a rainy March sky, the long wetly signals that the ferry I leaving a port. As the ship, enormous hull plows through the seawater, the heavy vibration travels through my seat to the rest of me. My ticket is for the second class cabin, the one closest to the bathroom for the ship. The voyage to Tokyo will take more than 10 hours and will be arriving at night. This is the second time in my life that I have made this very trip. On this ferry, I stand up, heading for the chairs and to the direct track. The first time was 2.5 years ago, after what happened while I went in the city. Rumors about me had started circulating at school. They say he's got a record, and I heard she's still wanted by the chops. Bring the subject of gossip anyone on the island about what had happened in Tokyo that summer. I had said a few things here and there, but I hadn't told a soul, not my parents. Not my friends, not the police, about the really important stuff. Now I am headed for Tokyo again with everything that happened that summer inside me. Now that I am 18, I am going to settle there for good, and I am going to see her again. Those thoughts always create the head behind my birth. My checks are flashing little by little. I want to be out in the sea wind as soon as possible, and I started climbing the chairs faster. Up on the deck trackers, the cold air strikes me full in the face, bringing rain with it. I draw a deep breath, trying to drink it all in. The wine is still chilly, but it's filled with the promise of spring. I have finally graduated from high school, and the really of it blatantly strikes home like a notification coming in late. I rest my elbow on the deck railing, gazing at the receding island, then shift my focus to the wind-swept sky. Countless raindrops dance through the air for as far as I can see, way off into the distance. Just then, I shudder, breaking out in goosebumps all over. It's happening again. I squeeze my eyes shut involuntarily as I stand there, stock still. The rain hits my face, and the sound of it echoes in my ears. For past 2.5 years, the rain has become a constant presence. It's like a pulse. What never stops, no matter how long you hold your breath, like the light happening through your eyelids, no matter how tightly you squeeze them shut, like a head that never falls, truly silent, no matter how you try it, climb it. Exhaling slowly, I open my eyes. Rain. The black surface of the occasion undulates as if it's taking a breath, sucking rain down into its bottomless depth. Its as through the sky and sea are conspiring together to raise a level of the occasion. For the sake of some practical joke, I am getting secret. I shiver up from deep inside me. I feel like I am going to the rapid apart and skirt retreat. I squeeze the railing, breathe deeply through my nose, and as always, I remember her wide eyes, her vibrant experience, the energetic and dynamic tone of her voice, the long hair she wore the twin potentails, and I think it's all right. She is here, she is alive in Tokyo. As long as she is here, I have a firm link to its world. So don't worry, don't carry. Hodaka. That was what she said that night in the hotel. Would fled in the liquor bureau. The sound of the rain on the roof was like a distant drum. The skin of the same shampoo I had used, her gentle, all forgiving voice, her skin gleaming pale in the darkness. They are all so vivid that suddenly I forget I am not still there. Maybe we are actually in the hotel right now and I have only imagined my future self on a ferry, like a spill of deja vu. Maybe yesterday graduation ceremony. The whistlist blown sharply. No, that's not true. I focused on the texture of the iron railing and the smell of the tide and the venue silhouette of the island that has almost vanished over the horizon. It's not true. This is not that night that happened a long time ago. This May. The on rocking on the ferry is the real on. I'll think about it, really think about it, and remember it all from the very beginning. I think as I glare at the rain before I see her again. I have to understand that happened to us, or even if I can't understand it, I at least have to think it through. What did happen to us? What did we choose? And what should I say to her? It all standard. Yeah, it was probably that day. The day she first saw it. What happened that day? What he told me about was the bringing of everything. Apparently her mother had not opened her eyes in months. The small hospital room was filled with the rhythmic beeping of vital sign monitor, the hose of the ventilator at work, and the patient should know sound of rain drumming on the window. Along with her, that hazard atmosphere, similar to hospital rooms that have been occupied for a long time, cut off from the rest of the world. She sat on the stole beside the bed, squeezing her mother painfully bony hand. She was to the oxygen mask, turned pale and foggy the regular inter- intervals, then looked at her mother's eyelessness, which were allows lowered now beneath at the crushing weight of her anxiety. She prayed constantly, "Let Mom wake up. Let a powerful gust of wind blow in the like a hero coming to save the day. Blast away the melancholy and the worry and the rain clouds and all the other dark heavy thing, and let our family work with smiles under sunny skins again, all three of us." Her hair strayed softly, and her heart and the faint shout of water dripping close to her ear. She raised her hand. She thought the window was closely all the way, but the curtain was showing slightly. The sky behind the windowpane drew her eyes upward. The sun had broken through. The rain was still filling the earnest, but a thin ray of light was racing down through a small gap in the clouds, illuminating a point on the ground. She strained her eyes to see better. Almost the building covering the earth as far as she could see. The roof of an alone building shone all by itself like an actor in the spotlight. The next thing she knew, as if someone had called to her, she was dashing out of the hospital room. The mixed use building was abandoned. The structure around it were shiny and brand new, but this particular one was brown and described as if time had he building billiards and hardware store and yield and mass jug. The locked up through her vainly umbrella. The sunlight was definitely highlighting this on. When she peeked around its side, she found a small parking lot and a set of around it dilapidated emergency stair leading up for the roof. It's like a puddle of light. Once she climbed to the top of her stair, she was captivated for a few comments by one she saw. The roof, which was surrounded by a railing, was just around half the size of a 25 meters pool. The floor tiles was cracked and falling to pieces, and he whole suffers the covered a green weeds. At the very back, a small Tory late store quickly clad in thin foliage and perfectly highlighted by the ray PM, the gap in the clouds. In the sun spotlight, the vermilion of the gate packed with little droplets. It was the only bright spot in the world hazy within. Slowly, they crossed the roof toward to Tori. The rain had shocked the summer woods, and every time she stepped on them, she heard a soft, caressing sound and felt a pleasant springiness beneath her feet. Beyond the curtain of rain was a forest of skyscrapers, pale and misty. The towering of a songbirds filled the air. There must have been a nest somewhere nearby. The distant rumbling of the emerald line mingled with it faintly like a noise filtering through from another world. She set her umbrella on the ground, and the chill of the rain shocked her smooth cheek. On the other side of the torii was a small stone shrine with small purple flowers growing thickly around it. Nearly buried in the flowers were two oven decorations that someone must have placed there. Ours made a cucumber and an ox made of eggplant with thin bamboo strip legs. Almost unconsciously, she put her hand together. Then she made her father's wish. Let the rain stop. The Shawly closed her eyes, then walked through the torii gate. Let mom wake up and let us walk under cleaner shakes together. As soon as the place entered the gate, the air changed. The sound of the rain suddenly cut out. When she opened her eyes, there was blue sky all around her. She was floating high, high above the earth in the midst of a powerful wind. No, she was feeling wind coiled around her, moving lower and deeper than she's ever heard it. With every exhalation, her breath turned white and froze sparkling in the deep blue. Even so, she felt unfair. It was an odd sensation, like a waking dream. When she looked down at her feet, she saw a multitude of cumulonimbus clouds formed like enormous hands of cauliflower. Each of them must have been miles wide, forming a magnificent sky forest. Suddenly she realized that the color of the clouds was changing on the flat top created by the atmosphere. Boundary pets of green were beginning to appear. She started. It was almost like a grassland on the top of the cloud, invisible to anyone on the surface of the earth. Wrestling energy was appearing and vanishing around it. She noticed swarms of some small creature. Fish? The samoas needed resembles schools of fish undulating in the linearly way, secting geometric spirals. As the field she watched them intently. Uncomfortable numbers of them were swimming over the cloud top plain. Suddenly, almost brushed her fingerprints started the locked at her hand. She was right. There were fish, their transparent little bodies slipped through her fingers and hair like wind given wide. Some had long fangs trailing behind them. Others were as round as jellyfish, and still others were thin like killifish. The sun streamed through all other many shapes, making them shine like gems. Before she knew it, she was surrounded. The endless blue, the white clouds, the wrestling energy, the fish singing in all the colors of the rainbow. She was in a stranger, beautiful sky world, and she'd never heard of or imagined it. Before long, the rain clouds blanketing the world blew her unraveled and melted away, and the never-ending stars of Tokyo apparated. Every single building, every single car, every single pane of glass shone proudly in the sunlight. The town is made to have been reborn, washed by the rain, and she slowly rode the wind down into it. Gradually, curiously, she could feel herself becoming one with everything. She simply knew in a sensation more fundamental than words that she was a part of this world. She was wind and water, blue and white, mind and wish, a peculiar happiness and keen sorrow spread all through her. Then slowly, as if she were sinking deep into her photon, her awareness diamond and faded. That view I saw break then might all have been a dream. She had once told me, but it was not a dream. True, we know that now. Later on, we both saw the same sight together, a sky world known to none but us. For better or worse, during the summer I spent with her in the sky over Tokyo. We changed the shape of world forever.